I love you. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Heather and this is Henry. Today on my video, I'm going to show you how to turn this guy right here from an old orangey cabinet to a kind of fun glam piece. I did not include the painting part, but if you would like to see that, and I know you probably would, I will do future videos on how to paint furniture because it's my jam and I love it. Check out my video and make sure you stay till the end where I didn't take a good before picture, but I did find a video of my now 6-year-old just dancing her little heart out, and that piece of furniture happened to be behind her. So stay to the end if you want a little giggle, and if you want to be reminded what it's like to dance like no one's watching, because I love that feeling and I love seeing other people have that feeling. So I hope you enjoy, and don't forget to hit subscribe so that you can see my future videos. Today I am going to be working on transforming this lawyer's cabinet that has been kind of wasted. It has been with us since I married my husband 14 years ago. In our last house, it was in the garage collecting dust. And when we moved about 1.5 years ago, I decided to paint it white and kind of use it for like a little crafty storage area. I put like some fancy knobs on it and I think it turned out okay. Kind of giving it a new life. But then my daughter took a seat down here and snapped the glass. And quite honestly, I think it was a happy accident because I always felt like this piece needed one more fancy piece, but I wasn't willing to spend any money to do that. Before I just kind of used the paint I had and kind of updated it. But I found this awesome piece of metal at Home Depot for $34. And I have decided I'm going to pop out the other glass and give this thing a cut and totally transform this thing from an old lawyer's cabinet to this little kind of glam closet. The first thing I'm going to do is pop the existing glass out by taking out with a little crowbar, taking out the little tiny trim molding that's in there. And I can break that trim molding because first of all it's old and it's not going to make it anyway. And to slip this metal in, I'm thinking that I can just use the tracks that are already in there. So I'll just break that so I don't bust the glass, and hopefully it'll be a nice quick transformation into the piece that this thing always wanted to be. So thanks for joining me, and I hope you enjoy. So I've made a change of plans. This all just basically tore out, which I already knew because I took the broken piece of glass out before. After all the trim is out, it's not budging. It has these very substantial, almost like what you would see on like a picture frame to kind of keep the mat and the glass in the front. And it's very substantial, and I want this to remain part of my piece of furniture. I don't want to bend it to get the glass out. So this is my first time doing this, and I'm going to give it a shot because I know how easy the broken piece of glass came out before, and I don't want to harm what I have left. So what I'm going to do is use painter's tape to tape my glass so that when I break it, it doesn't go everywhere. Wow, that was doing a lot. Ooh, I feel it's getting weaker. So that's kind of all I need it to do. It's like take a big, it took a big break down the middle. There are a couple pieces that could have fallen, so I'm going to take my little vacuum and vacuum that up and clean up the glass and move on to the next step. Hindsight, I should have worn gloves. I did not cut myself this time, but as I was in the middle of it, I remembered when I was taking the pieces out, when my daughter broke the glass, I did cut my finger. Wear some gloves if you do this. But as you can see, these guys, they're almost like little heavy-duty staples. They are still in really great shape, and I believe that's going to hold my metal in just great because the metal is bendable and I can kind of put it in. So next step is cut the metal. Couple things I want to say. First of all, because it's not a solid piece of glass, if you cut it exactly and there's any type of not squareness in an old piece of furniture, it causes the metal to kind of bow. So with this project, I had to cut it a little tiny bit shorter because it is a flimsier piece of metal, knowing that it'll fit in the space. But I'm going to go back and put a trim right here to hold everything taut and steady, and that therefore it can be a little bit smaller than like the glass was, so it doesn't bow when it's under pressure. The second part is, if your piece of furniture has a piece of glass that comes out easily, obviously use that as the template. Don't break it. Just use that piece as a template. I went through this a couple different times. Always go bigger because you can always cut some off, but I just didn't want to have to go back to the store because I cut it 1/8 of an inch too small and ruined the whole thing. I also put the one that I cut down below. I mean, it is an old piece of furniture, so you don't always know that they're going to be exactly the same measurements. They were. So I just used the first one as a form. So this is the final product, and I get so excited when I look at a piece of furniture, and in the beginning I had in my mind what I knew it wanted to be for its new life, and man, this turned out exactly how I wanted it to. A few lessons learned, but that's the way all my projects happen. I work through it, and I'd probably do it better the second time, but I usually don't do things a second time. I need to try something new. So if you see like a piece of furniture that's free or 20 bucks and it looked, I'll show a before picture. I know I have a before picture somewhere from before I painted it, and you'll see what it looked like before. It was like, ugh, throw that in the dumpster. But with a little bit of love and imagination and creativity and this artistic mind of what can I make you, man, it is so much more fulfilling to walk by this piece in the house when you know what you took it from than to go buy something like this in a store. And quite honestly, you're not going to get an old piece like this in a store. So it's been reused, it's been repurposed. These knobs are from Hobby Lobby at half off. They were maybe $5 a piece, maybe 3 with the half off. And again, this one piece was $34, and I have some left over that I could do other stuff with. So aside from the paint, it's just chalk paint. I will probably do other tutorials on that. I'm always painting furniture, but that is just a quick, you could buy a tub from Hobby Lobby for $8 of a chalk paint and just start right on a project. No prepping, nothing. Like, it's so forgiving, which is why this is such a fun thing to do. So I am motivated now to get my next project. And Henry sees her friends, so we're gonna say bye. See you next time. Are you having a fun kind of day, kiddo?
A rock star. I'm a rock star.
Hey, girl. Hey, never stop dancing, okay?